Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Over the course of the weekend, we actually saw several new updates drop across Black Ops 7 and Warzone, including several that had patch notes associated with them. We got a handful of new updates, new changes already live in game, some sort of emergency or reactionary updates to some things that Season 3 ended up breaking. We also have some previews as to what's going to be updated here in the near future as well, with a few new bugs and glitches that they're looking into. So quite a bit to break down here today, starting first with a few posts from Call of Duty updates. Initially, here's saying new updates out for Black Ops 7. The Deadeye drone has been temporarily restricted across multiplayer while we investigate an issue. And Treyarch ended up quoting this and says, the Deadeye drone score streak is being restricted and taken into the garage for some fixes. We're shooting to have it back into the skies next week, which is now this week. So sometime this week, the Deadeye drone will be back. In the meantime, you can unlock the Ion Core via the weekly challenges and invite your Nuketown neighbors to the cookout. So the Deadeye drone, a little strong. I don't know about you guys, but I've been leveling up the weapons the past couple of days for Season 3, playing some Nuketown, like hardcore Nuketown. If somebody gets a Deadeye drone, you're just gonna have a really rough next few minutes because they're gonna cycle that off of its own kills. Basically, it's super frustrating to try and track it in the sky at times. Like, it is one of the more obnoxious things in the game, or was one of the more obnoxious things in the game. So it is now currently disabled as of the time that I am recording this video, and it will presumably be fixed at some point this week, likely nerfed and balanced in some capacity, and then it'll be back in the score streak pool. But for now, your lobbies will be free of Deadeye drones in the sky sniping you out of your spawn. We also ended up getting a full patch note update here from COD Updates, just limited to their Twitter post though. They say a new update's out across Black Ops 7 Zombies and Endgame. Patch notes for a small update rolling out now for all platforms. They address an issue that impacted match performance when changing HUD settings. So you could change your HUD to something you thought looks cooler, and then it'd just tank your frames basically. So good news that they fixed that. They addressed an issue that prevented Endgame restore tokens from actually restoring lost progress. So their entire purpose wasn't actually purposing. So they've also fixed that. They addressed an issue that prevented the week 1 weekly challenge of get 150 kills using pack-a-punched melee weapons from tracking properly in Zombies. They also addressed an issue that prevented the week 1 challenge of use 15 score streaks from tracking properly as well. So a couple of bug fixes and glitch fixes here in these minor patch notes. They also ended up dropping a quick fix for something that was broken initially with Season 3. They say originally Black Ops 7 and Zombies, they're looking into reports that cursed standard squads is unintentionally limited to just Paradox Junction only. So you'd go in to queue that and you'd only ever play Paradox Junction. That was not the intent. That issue has now been fixed and players have access to all round-based Zombies maps in this mode for squads. So now you can play any of those round-based ones in cursed standard squads if you're interested in that. And just a heads up, as we are going through all the various updates and things that the devs are now looking into for some future fixes as well, if you guys enjoy the video, you find the information helpful, do me a favor, drop a like. It's always seriously appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, you want to make sure you are always in the know for everything going on in Call of Duty. There's no better place than right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and of course turn on those post notifications. Next up here on the global Trello, we actually have some new updates here courtesy of Season 3. First up, globally, they are aware of an issue where players are currently unable to equip the Redwell Shade Suppressor on the MK35 ISR or the VST. So a lot of people have been trying to level these up. They try and put the Redwell Suppressor on, and in Warzone and multiplayer, it doesn't matter. It's not unlocking fully for everyone. So they are aware of that, and they will be getting that fixed here in the future. In multiplayer specifically, the Danger Close wildcard does not consistently provide an additional piece of lethal equipment on initial spawn. Its whole purpose basically not purposing yet again, so they are going to fix that. The one-man army challenge progress is still not tracking correctly. Then also the VS Recon is unintentionally restricted in ranked play search and destroy. They are going to fix that, so it won't be restricted any longer there. Then also they do say in Endgame, some players may observe that their combat rating when exfilling is incorrect, but will appear correct once the loadout menu actually loads up there. So there are some visual bugs going on with your actual combat rating in game right now. But that's it for the global Trello. A couple of new issues though that have popped up since season 3. Unfortunately, on the Warzone side of things, we haven't seen too many specific things pop up here, and unfortunately one big thing that's missing across the board is any full recognition, publicly at least, of the major performance issues that are going on post season 3, especially on PlayStation. That seems like where it's getting hit the most. The game is incredibly stuttery and laggy. There's like this whole thing going on where it's a global issue for players, and it basically makes the game unplayable. Nothing here listed specifically, unfortunately, as of right now, so we don't really have any ETA as to when that could get resolved. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because it is a pretty rough issue going on. Outside of that, largely what the Warzone Trello is comprised of is just some issues from mid last month, graphical issues on Avalon, issues with spectating, cameras getting stuck when spectating as well, issues where weapon attachment kits can get stuck in certain geographical parts of the map, so like they're inside of barrels or rocks and you can't actually pick those up in Black Ops Royale or anything like that. The locked icon appears on Rebirth Island ranked playlist options, in private match, for example. That's an advisory that they've got going on right now. But like I said, a lot of things that we've covered previously over the course of the past few weeks. Nothing too new on the Warzone specific Trello, at least as of right now. That's not to say we won't see some surprise, Warzone updates or fixes here in the coming days. Of course, if that happens, I'll be sure to keep you guys in the know. And it's funny enough because I recorded this first section of the video here going over the Trellos and just happened to check before I was booting up the game to finish off the remainder of this video. And what do you know? They just added to the Trello board. They are in fact investigating performance issues on PlayStation 5. So this is now an issue that they're fully going through and looking at. But again, no full ETA as to when this could get fixed. It's got to be sooner rather than later, because this is really making the game unplayable for a ton of players. We also now have it looking forward to this week, officially confirmed that the Lost Outpost event is going to be starting later on this week, 2 days, 23 hours time, really 3 days from now. So on Thursday with the usual update day. And this is going to include the new sniper, the Strider 300. So we've got a brand new weapon dropping on Thursday. That'll be happening. And of course, the Zombies exclusive Survivors of the Ash event is also coming to a close on Thursday. So if you want to get the new camo stuff here or any of the other rewards, you only have a few more days to go through and complete that. But full on new sniper dropping later this week. Of course, alongside that, per usual on Thursday, we're also going to end up getting our week 2 challenges. We haven't seen any data mines or leaks though going through and previewing all the weekly challenges ahead of time like what we've had the past few seasons. Of course, Activision's been going through and being a little bit more strict on data mines and leaks and shutting down people and things like that. So not as many previews there, but we do know obviously the week 2 challenges will be dropping with a new aftermarket part or weapon of some kind later on this week. So we've got that to look forward to as well in the coming days. So a couple of updates over the course of the past weekend. Few more updates to come later on this week. Of course, if we get anything in between, any surprise updates, any official reveals or announcements from COD, you guys know I'll be keeping you guys informed with the latest need to know info. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course turn on those post notifications. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on your way out as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.